Michal, can you answer Owen? I mean, do you think he's got a point there?
I think you've got a point, but before I'm being too optimistic about it, I want to just mention that the U.S. is the second emitter in the world in terms of greenhouse gases and also the second per capita. So it's a huge blowout when the U.S. says, I'm going out of this, this agreement.
That's a bad precedent.
And
no question.
it is bad. And also, take a moment and think how many years it took the U.S. till it actually came to this binding agreement. In the Kyoto Protocol, the U.S. hasn't signed it. And it took many years, and actually Obama was part of why China and India were part of this, protocol. So if we look at the U.S., I think that it's a huge statement, but on the same, I would say, optimistic message. Newton's law says that when there is an action, there is an opposite action or reaction. So we see already the UN, and we see that, reacting China, some of the states saying, but it is a huge, draw.
Right. Michal, I want to ask you about Israel. I mean, since we said it's only Nicaragua and Syria, so the Israel is a signatory, but how is it coping in terms of some of those issues raised by the Paris Accords?
So first of all, Trump's withdrawal doesn't mean anything. Israel is going business as usual. It doesn't mean anything different. Israel is actually committed. It gave its commitment to the protocol, and it has given the emission targets according to per capita. I think that Israel is not doing enough in terms of the climate change and could have been doing much more.
What should Israel be doing?
I think it should have been, giving targets that are more ambitious. We went through, per capita, but that was our way to go through the demographic issue, because Israel is still a developing country in the sense of the demographics.
Right.
We're still getting bigger. Okay,
Correct.
we're not like the rest of the world, European countries. So I think that in a way, Israel cut itself loose when it took targets that are only per capita. But if I want to be less a devil advocate, I would say that at least it did have some targets. And we're doing a lot of work in terms of green building, in terms of, energy and so on. But
are you finding briefly the government cooperative? There's an environmental ministry here in Israel. You find them cooperative?
It really depends. The Ministry of Environment is very cooperative, but I think that other ministries, it depends. There are some that are more, some are less. And, the lack of infrastructure and the lack of money to really implement. So I wouldn't say we're really heading. We're in the middle.
In the middle. Okay, Michal Biderman from The Natural Step here in Israel, Owen Alterman from i24 News, and we should be here on the station, I don't know how, we should be environmentally conscious too. Thanks for joining us.